Hello guys, today I will be telling you all about my top 10 most loved manhwa and manhwa. If you are a true fan of manhwa, then you'll probably know all of the manhwas present in the list as most of them are popular and highly rated. And if you are a new reader, then these will be perfect ones to start with. And please note that this list is purely based on my personal preference, so you might like some of them more or less than the others. And also let me know your most loved manhwa and manhwa in the comment section. Now, let's start a list.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
Coming at number 10, we have Master of Goo. I would have given this manhwa higher in the list, but didn't because it has been discontinued after 96 chapters. But it has a novel by the name Reverend Insanity, and it is even more amazing than the manhwa. So if you like reading novels, then I'll highly recommend you to go for that one. This manhwa is about the story of a villain named Fang Yuan who was killed by those that were after his most valuable treasure, the Chun Kui cicada that he painstakingly refined for years. After getting killed, he gets regressed to 500 years in the past, but somehow he still had the Chung Kyo cicada with him. Now with his profound wisdom and battle experiences, he seeks to overcome his foes with both skills and wits. The main character of this manhwa is both strong and cunning and kills the ones that try to mess with him. He is also fearless and uses everyone around to his advantage. Coming at number 9, we have Fist Demon of Manhua. You might be wondering why I put this manhwa on the list rather than the other famous ones. Well, you'll know about it after you read it. Damho was the sole survivor of a village raid and was adopted by an elder of Manhua sect when he was still an infant. Even with a crippled leg, he refused to stop his training. And whilst everyone around him told him to stop, Damho never gave up on his dream. But his life changes completely when he goes to a battle with his fellow sect members. The story of this manhwa is awesome and the art fits really well with the plot. The main character is weak at the beginning, but after being abandoned by his clan members, he trains in isolation and becomes overpowered. He is ruthless and kills anyone who tries to hurt him or his friends. Coming at number 8, we have The Great Mage Returns After 4,000 Years. This is a manhwa where the strongest person of the past takes over the body of a loser. Frey Blake was the worst student of Westrod Academy and the disgrace of the Blake family. He was bullied so severely in his school that he decided to commit suicide. After his death, the soul of the great mage, Lucas Strawman, which was sealed by the demigods, enters Frey's lifeless body. Now he finally has a chance to take revenge on the demigods that threaten the peace and livelihood of all the living beings. The art of this manhwa is top tier and its story is also amazing. The main character is badass and turns overpowered just after a few chapters. Coming at number 7, we have Magic Emperor. Zhou Yifan was a demon emperor who was feared by everyone and was targeted by the strongest entities because of the priceless treasure that he had in his possession. Later, he was betrayed and killed by his own student, but instead of dying, he reincarnates into the body of the servant of a declined family. He tries to leave the family behind and go on his own path, but to his surprise, the servant had a spirit bond with the mistress of his family that stopped Yifan from leaving until he managed to revive the family to his former glory. The main character of this manhwa is very strong and overpowers all of his enemies either by using his strength or by using any underhanded method possible. He is both cunning and smart and doesn't fear anyone. He makes everyone kneel in front of him and starts the legend of the demonic emperor once again. Coming at number 6, we have Nano Machine. This is a system type manhwa combined with the Murim world genre. Chio Yun-woo was an orphan from the heavenly demonic cult whose life had always been a great danger. While being chased by his enemies, he gets an unexpected visit from his descendant from the future who puts a nano machine inside his body. Now with the help of the machine, he easily learns all the techniques present with the demonic cult and finally becomes strong enough to take revenge on the ones that killed his mother. Both the art and the story of this manhwa is top tier. The main character goes through character development and becomes overpowered and badass. Coming at number 5, we have SSS-Class Suicide Hunter. King Gong Ja always dreamt of becoming the strongest hunter by obtaining a rare S-Class skill. His wish was fulfilled and he gets a high rank skill that allowed him to copy the skills of other hunters, but only at the cost of his life. To make the situation worse, he gets killed by the number 1 hunter, the Flame Emperor, on the same day of obtaining his skill. But this actually turns into a blessing, as the skill he copies from the Flame Emperor allowed him to travel back in time after dying. The main character of this manhwa is one of the best protagonists I have seen so far. He's smart and takes full advantage of his skills. Some of you might think that the events of the story is a bit repetitive, but that's a part of its plot and has its own charm. Coming at number 4, we have Solo Leveling. This manhwa is about the story of an E-rank hunter, Sung Jin-woo, who was considered to be the world's weakest. He had no skills and he struggled to survive even in the lowest level dungeons. But one day, after getting trapped in a high-level dungeon, he suddenly receives a strange power that allowed him to level up after completing quests and hunting monsters. Watch him as he rises from the weakest E rank to the strongest S rank hunter. Most of the readers started their manhwa journey after reading Solo Leveling, so I won't say much about this manhwa as you already know everything about it. Coming at number 3, we have Volcanic Age. The protagonist Jo Seon-chon was an untalented martial artist who had survived the age of war through sheer luck and became the elder of his sect, only to live a life full of regrets. But on the last day of his life, he gets regressed to the past when he was still a kid. Now he vows to not repeat the same mistakes of his past life and live his life without any regrets. Both the art and the story of this manhwa is amazing. Using the knowledge of the past life, the main character learns many martial arts skills and later becomes so strong that everyone begins to respect him. He is both cunning and smart and doesn't leave any of his enemies alive. Coming at number 2, we have Legend of the Northern Blade. After saving the world and bringing peace all over the land, the sect leader of the Northern Heavenly Sect, Jin Kwan-ho, was betrayed by his own people and got killed by the martial artists that conspired against him. But this was not the end of the Northern Heavenly Sect, as Jin Kwan-ho's only son, Jin Moo-won, was still alive. Moo-won had never learned any martial arts, but later he finds the techniques that were secretly left behind by his father and begins to learn the martial arts of the Northern Heavenly Sect. The main character of this manhwa is super strong and an absolute badass. After completing his training, he sets out to get revenge on the people that killed his father. The art and the story of this manhwa is also amazing, so I'll highly recommend you to those who haven't read it yet. Coming at number 1, we have Beginning After the End. This is one of the most liked manhwa, and its popularity is also increasing day by day. This manhwa tells us about the story of King Grey, who was a man of unrivaled strength, wealth and prestige. But despite having everything, he was not happy with his life. One day, he mysteriously dies and gets reincarnated in a new world filled with magic and monsters. Now, with the second chance to relive his life, he vows to not repeat the same mistakes of his past life and live a happy life with his family. Both the art and the story of this manhwa is top tier. The main character becomes stronger to protect himself and the people around him. I won't say more about it as almost all of us have read this manhwa, but if you haven't, then I'll highly recommend you to give it a read. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.